All right. Yeah. And so, as I kind of told those that are just joining us, we're going to try to start as close to 1:15 as we can because we do not have a lot of time. They only scheduled us in for what was it, like 25 minutes? The reason is that is so we don't have to have this class like at 3 o'clock. All my other classes before, I was teaching like every day at 3 o'clock, and everybody wants to be out and about at 3 o'clock, right, out of school. So I didn't get a whole bunch of attendance, but it looks like people are showing up to these classes during the day. So thank you for coming, appreciate it, and we'll get rolling, okay? All right, so we had some people in the chat, just barely just said what they did for this summer. Just wanted to introduce myself and let you know some of the things that I did. So one of the things we did is we went boating quite a bit. So we have my son, Kaysen, right there in the little puddle jumper. He's wearing a Spider-Man shirt because Spider-Man's his favorite. My daughter, Brooklyn, who's on the tube, as well as my wife, Christy. And there's Christy and my other son, Kaylor. So I have 3 kids, and then, of course, myself and my wife. So that's a little bit about me. All right, so people are still putting in what they did for the summer. Fantastic. Somebody just said you moved from Utah to Arizona. Okay. So what part of Arizona? Very good. Okay. All right, so if you guys want to write this down real quick, my contact information, okay? So you can call or text this number if you have questions. Is it the same as last year? Yes, it is. So it would be the same information as last year, so you'll be able to get that. Also, my email, same from last year as well, but if you want to write it down. Also, just to let you know, this recording, if you come in late or if you miss something, this will be posted to the class announcements. I try to do it usually takes about a half hour to upload, and then I'll do it directly after I get done there. Okay. All right. So a couple things want to make you aware of. One, the utahvirtual.org website where you can find all your teachers. I don't know if you've been on there before. Let's do a little poll real quick. Give me a green check mark if this is your first year at Utah Virtual. Okay. First year at Utah Virtual Academy. And then we got some. You guys are doing pretty good. You at least know where the green check mark is. That's good. Awesome. Okay, so we got some that are, some that are not. Very good. Okay, so yeah, check mark. If you find where it says your, that's a good question. So where it has like your name as participant, underneath it will have a little thing that has like check marks, raise hand, if you're away, a smiley face, some emoji kind of things that you can deal with. So for anyone new, oh, thank you, Matthew, for the shout out. Yeah, I've really enjoyed being here at Utah Virtual. So another thing, I do have my own website that I've kind of posted a lot of the content to for personal finance. And so you can go there and you can find all of it, and you can jump ahead, that kind of stuff, in the lessons if you'd like to. Okay? Perfect. Okay, let me move on to the next slide here. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Matthew, for helping out. There. Okay, let's go over personal finance real quick. Okay? And then we're going to go over how the class is structured and what you need to do to get good grades, get things on. Then we'll get a little bit into the content today. And as I said, we don't have a ton of time. I think they gave me from 1:15 to 1:40. And then I got to jump off and be in another meeting. So let's talk about personal finance. Okay, so personal finance is the financial management which an individual or family unit performs to budget, save, spend money, resources over time, taking into account various financial risk and future lifetime events. Okay. So Joshua asked if I've ever heard of Dave Ramsey. That is, yes, I have. I've heard of Dave Ramsey. So he's one that kind of does a little bit of this. He kind of has some extreme point of views, a lot of people think, but he has really good points as well. But yeah, and we may talk a little bit about Dave Ramsey as we go through some of the stuff here. Okay. Some other things. Okay, there are two options for this class. Right now, you are currently in the UTVA option, okay, which just basically gives you regular high school credit, okay. It's good. It will earn you 0.25 towards graduation. Or sorry, not 0.25, 0.5 towards graduation. And it's only a block, and it's really more informative, okay. You can also, if you like this class, you can do one of two things. You can either take this, and what you've done, we can actually transfer some of the work that you did. But we have a concurrent enrollment class that I teach through Dixie State University. It's through UTVA. You get 0.5 towards graduation, so your high school graduation, and also you get 3 college credits towards it as well. Okay. So somebody said, hey, if Dixie State was actually get those concurrent. Yeah, so we actually, are you in the class right now, Kaylin? Because I have that up and going. It started today. But if you want to do it, it's actually a semester long, so you have a little bit longer to do it. It goes all the way until, I believe, December 15th. This one, it is more intense, the concurrent enrollment class, but you kind of get to like double dip, okay? So you get high school graduation credit as well as college credit. It does cost a little bit of money, okay? It's $15 that it charges for the course, and I believe there might be a little registration fee. So it does cost a little bit of money. But if you are interested in that, email jhymus@utahvirtual.org, and she'll give you the information to enroll into it. Since we're barely starting now, you can jump in the class now, or you could look at taking this one and then taking the college course in the spring semester. I'll be teaching both of those. Okay. So if you're interested in it, make a note of that. You can double dip and get some college credit too. Okay. Okay, so let's go over just how to be successful in the class real quick. One, if you just kind of log into the course each day, make sure there's not anything that's kind of updated or anything that I put onto the announcements. Complete your assigned tasks. And so what I've actually done is I will send this out and put it on like the announcements, but I made a little Google Calendar. It helps me follow things a lot better about when things are due. Okay, and so just so you know, hey, not a problem, you're late. You can just catch the recording. I'll post it to the announcements about 30 minutes after this on the online course. Anyway, so we have class. We have live class on Monday. Okay, and really that's our only live class. Sometimes I'll have supplemental material they'll post in the announcements on there, so it'd be kind of like a flipped class if we need to get through more stuff we don't get through in the 25 minutes. But other than that, we just have that one time that we meet per week. Okay, so just Mondays at 1:15 to 1:40, we'll get all this stuff. So the rest of the class is basically, I took a lot of the curriculum from Dixie State, but just the informational part. So it actually has Utah high school students that started going to Dixie State. They made these videos about personal finance. You watch the little video and then you take the quiz. Watch the video, take the quiz. So you can continue to work through those. As long as you keep pace, you can go, you can go as fast as you want. So I've had some students that were able to knock out this class in about 2 weeks. So if you want to do that, feel free to do that. If you want to continue just to stay on pace, you just have to keep that minimum pace or I'll bug you. Okay, so that means I'll be calling you on the phone, I'll be texting you, bugging your parents, so you may not want me to do that. Okay, so your parents sometimes get mad when I contact them, 2-3 times a week because you're not getting things done. Okay, all right. Turn in your quizzes on time. They'll get that done. And then here's the biggest thing: if you're stuck on something, just ask me for help. Right? Call, text, email me. I'll get back to you, and we'll work it out together. Okay? I'm always here to help. Okay, so a couple things. For those that are new to UTVA, it looks like a lot of you are returning, so you probably kind of know all this stuff. If you go up to the course and you push plan, you'll be able to see what's due and what day, okay? And so you can kind of see through there, you'll go through there. It'll also be on that Google Calendar that I will send out from there. Okay, so here is something you want to think of when you're thinking about your grade. So since this class is only informative, right? If you want to take more in depth, like do reports, start applying for FAFSA, that kind of stuff, you'll want to take that concurrent enrollment course. All grades are based off the quizzes that are taken, and you can take those quizzes as many times as you'd like, okay? So for example, let's say I go in, I've watched the video, I take the quiz, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't do so hot on that. Go back, look at the information again, then retake the quiz and get your desired score. Okay, so I want you to pass this class. I really want you to know learn the content more than I do, anything, because this one's like this math that you're going to be learning in here, and really it's not like hard math, but it's budgeting, right? The things you're actually going to use in real life. So you'll really want to I really just want you to know the stuff, or at least get a little grasp of, hey, why do I not want to put all my money into a credit card and only pay the minimum each month? Okay, that kind of stuff, because that's really going to hurt you in the future if you don't know any better. Okay, so the breakdown, of course, I want everybody to get an A if you can, but if not, 60% is the passing. Okay, so at the end of the semester, if you're lagging along, I'm going to be hounding you to get up to that 60% because I want you to get credit for this class towards graduation. All right, so that kind of leads us to the content real quick. Any questions on how the course works, what you need to do, anything in there before we just kind of go over a couple things here? And we got a lot of people in class. That's fantastic. Okay, so Mitchell says, Dave Ramsey says to ditch those instant credit cards. They get sent via mail, and they're a giant scam. Yeah, if you're going to use credit cards, there's reasons to use credit cards, okay, which we'll talk about. Like if you're buying anything online, you don't want to use a debit card, that kind of stuff, because it goes directly out of your account. But people don't have the discipline to be able to do a lot of that stuff, right? That he says. So we'll be going over that kind of stuff. So sorry, my mom never watched Financial Peace University. Yeah, that's a Dave Ramsey thing, Financial Peace. Somebody says pay only cash. Okay, cash is good. It's good to have cash on hand. But what if you need to buy a house, right? Get to live with your parents forever. Okay. Okay. Credit cards can help build credit. Good. Been following Dave Ramsey's program. It's a ton of saving money. Yep. So I mean, there's some good things in that kind of stuff, and we will be going over all that stuff as we're going through here. Okay, what I'm going to do now, those that are new to UTVA, what I do is I give you what's called whiteboard permissions, okay? And what you get to do is you get to write on the whiteboard up here, okay? And you can just go and you can type in some stuff. So I have a question that we're going to talk about. So I want you to, if you can't figure out how to do it yet to write on the whiteboard, you can just write in the chat. But I have some questions that we're going to go through and kind of talk about those, okay? So here's our first question, first discussion. And I'm opening up that whiteboard. So you guys can write on the whiteboard or just write in the chat, and we'll kind of do that. So the question is, if you could buy anything in the world, what would it be? Okay? What would it be? All right, I like that. 2,000 bitcoins. That's something that's kind of going along as the cryptocurrency in today's market. It's starting to be kind of a big hit. Yeah, if you had 2,000 bitcoins, you'd have a lot of money. I think it's around $10,000 a bitcoin right now. Okay, let's see here. A car, steady home, and video games. Okay. We have some people in the chat. A 1965 Rolls-Royce Limo Edition. Okay. So V-Bucks or Fortnite. Okay. Okay, so we got some video games. What else are you putting on? A desktop computer. Somebody say an older Mustangs. I like those older cars. So that's something we'll talk about. We'll talk about things you can invest in. Some things are very volatile, right? So that means you can lose your money real easily, that kind of stuff. But some people are talking about a little bit of investments, like a home would be a little bit of an investment. Concert and tour tickets, okay. Or somebody said, or an 80s Mercedes. Yeah, nice. Okay, somebody said reptiles, new video, new computers, gaming. More shelters for homeless people and animals. Well, whoever wrote that one's a very nice person. I'm glad somebody's thinking. So somebody said stocks. Somebody said a dog. Okay. I'm not sure what that exactly says. Maybe it's a car, possibly. I would honestly buy my mom her dream car because she's done a lot for me. Ah, that's nice. That's what a lot of those basketball players do. Like, they make all this money and they buy their mom a new car, right? Or house. And Alienware laptop preferred that one. 144 hertz. Cool. All right. A working car. All right. So we got a lot of cars. We got houses. Electronics. Very good. Okay. All right. So you have that in your mind now, right? What you're thinking that you could buy. So let's go to this next question real quick, okay? Let's go to this next question. Next question is, why do you not buy what you want right now? Why don't you just go out, right? Hey, but we could do exactly what Dave Ramsey says not to do, right? We could go get credit card, put on the credit card, right? Huh? So somebody said no money, okay? What's some other thing? Not enough money, okay? I need to pay bills. Very good. So it's called being responsible. Right? No bank, no job. Okay. No source of income, no line of credit, no experience with money to even try to afford, okay? Which is a 4 something, okay. Okay, yeah, you have to be responsible, you have to pay your phone, car insurance, yet. No money again. Okay. Well, I'm glad you kind of understand the concept a little bit, right? You need sources of income in order to purchase things, right? And even if we have sources of income, we can't go and just buy whatever we want. Okay? Because we have to have enough money, right? We have to be able to pay our bills and to afford it, or you'll have somebody that will come collect it. I was skimming through the stations real quick, and they had this TV show on. It was about people that didn't pay their bills, and the collectors would come and they would sneak into their cars and everything and drive them away. It's like, it's a pretty funny show. And I think the people were like, "What are you doing? You're taking my car," blah, 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 Somebody like actually scuba dived down and grabbed like this plane that lands on the water and flew off in it. It was a pretty interesting show, but yeah, you're right. You're not going to be able to have that kind of stuff, okay? Very good. Good questions. Good. Like how you're typing in there. Okay, I got a couple more questions for you, and then we're going to have to end today. And what we're talking about right now, if you go through the videos, this is what we're kind of talking about. Okay, so we've already talked about this a little bit. What would the consequences be if you bought this item, okay? Okay. I think it was called the Repo something. It was on Discovery, the Discovery Channel. It was pretty good. Ah, good. I'm glad you guys are saving. Looks like some of you guys are saving quite a bit of money. It's good to have that savings, what we call like maybe an emergency fund, to continue to have in there. Large city to afford the insurance and maintenance. Yep. Okay, you'd be a lot in debt. You'd be broke. So what happens is sometimes if you put all this money into it and then you can't afford it, they'll come and take it away. Right? The bank, and you're out the money and that you've put into it already. Okay? So that's hard. That's really hard. Okay. All right. Let me see if there's... I think there's one more question here that we'll kind of do. Okay, this is kind of the same thing. Have you ever bought anything you did without planning for it? If so, what kind of consequences did you have? Okay. Somebody says, I have an emergency fund hidden in my lost wallet. Well, that's not good. If it's a lost wallet, guess you won't be able to have it. I started to prepare for possible emergency. Yeah. And that's something I do. I keep, cash on hand just in case, It's always good to do that. It's hard when you go someplace and they're like, "We only accept cash." You're like, oh, oops. So somebody says, broke for about 2 weeks until I got paid and had to pay my people back. And you didn't have money for something else. Oh, that's not good. Good. I'm glad some of you guys are planning carefully out there. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, that actually leads us to basically the end here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm going to stick around for a little bit, answer any questions you may have. So the way I've set it up is, since classes are kind of like, we're scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, even though we only have live class on Monday, your work is due on Wednesday and Monday. So the first quiz, can we get... Yep, you can go if you'd like to. And you can catch the end of this if you really need to on the recording. So assignments are due on Wednesday and Monday to keep pace. And as I said, you can go as fast as you want, and really kind of get going there. So, all right. Okay, thanks, guys. If you need to go, you can. There's no exit ticket. And we'll talk to you later. Okay? So I'll stick around for any questions, though.